Any business is really only as good as the employees that it has, so making sure you keep those key employees and retain them throughout the life of the business is really, really important, particularly if you're looking to sell the business in the future and you want those employees to stay with you on that journey and be there at the point of sale. So giving them share ownership is really a fabulous way of aligning goals, because the goals of the employees and the founders are really aligned. They're all interested in the future success and growth of the business. But really, I think the key is making sure that you communicate to those employees that the opportunity that they have and how they might realise some value in the future and over what sort of time period that might be. There is a variety of ways that you can widen shares to employees, from simply gifting them shares or selling them shares to using more complex share schemes. And some of those share schemes are HMRC approved, and therefore the company and the individual have to fulfil certain criteria. But there are also plenty of ways of widening equity ownership if those criteria can't be fulfilled. Generally speaking, I would say the most popular way of widening equity ownership that I see is EMI schemes, EMI option schemes, where you can give employees the opportunity to buy shares at a future date at today's price. And those option schemes can be as simple or as complex as you like. So it could be purely a case of they can buy those shares according to a certain amount of time having passed, or you could attach certain performance conditions to the ability to buy those options, and that might be performance of the company or the performance of the individual. So they can really be tailored to the needs of the business. Really important to consider which employees are suitable for share ownership, because it's not for everybody, and it's quite different from, say, a bonus scheme where the returns tend to be much more immediate and much more quantifiable. So we help clients, we talk them through a process where we help them broadly segment their employees into different categories to identify which might be suitable for, say, a simple or a more complex bonus scheme, and which might be suitable for equity involvement. And it tends to be those employees that are quite senior or have the potential to be quite senior, and those that are really instrumental in driving the business forward. Those are the only ones really that we would recommend for share ownership. And I think what I recommend to a client is to ask themselves the question, what would happen if this employee resigned? How replaceable are they? What impact would it have on the business? And going through the process of answering those questions can often help crystallise whether they really are suitable or not. Often the process of implementing a shared ownership scheme is simply a case of getting some legal documents drafted. If it's going to be an HMRC approved scheme, you'd also want to go through a valuation process with HMRC and also register the scheme with them afterwards. You also want to think about things like whether you want to get the Articles of Association updated and perhaps get the shareholders agreement updated. And indeed, if you've been a sole shareholder beforehand, there may not even be a shareholders agreement in place. But I think the key thing to remember is that it's your business, and you need to set the rules. So any new employee coming in to share ownership needs to sort of sign up to the rules that you have set.